Welcome to A Grief Observed. My name is Kevin Weaver, and today on our show I have with us Miss Marty Lamar. I get that right, Marty?
You did.
Marty, hi. It's so good to have you today. Marty is here today, well, for a couple of reasons, but first off, she's here representing Native Women Scholars Incorporated.
Right.
What's Native Women Scholars, Marty?
It's an organization that, first of all, I have to tell you that my husband was the one who was really the one with the idea. Mm-hmm. Usually my husband would say, Marty, how come when you get an idea, it makes work for me?
Yeah.
And I said, because I'm the idea person.
Ah.
But he had an idea, and it made work for both of us. We had gotten together with Carol Sletton.
Okay.
She and her husband, Eric, wrote the book, Story of the American West. They were asked to go around the centennial year and talk to groups. But she wanted to do something else. She decided to write a play, 3 strong Western women. She wanted to write about 3 pioneer women who had lived in the White Mountain area. One of them was Minnie Gunther, who lived a long life on the Fort Apache Reservation, helped the people and raised 9 children, and was American Mother of the Year.
Wow.
Another one was Lozin, an Apache woman who followed and helped Geronimo. Another one was Emma Lee, who was the 17th wife of John D. Lee, who ran Lee's Ferry. And this is a woman that I admired because of her courage, her faith, her loyalty. She came to the Holbrook area, Snowflake area, and then was revered in Winslow for all her healing. She really helped the people there. When Carol wrote the play, she couldn't play all 3 parts.
Sure.
And because I like to act, I said, I'll be Emma. So we put on the play in 2012. Carol decided she wanted the money to go to a scholarship. Half of the money went to the PEO Sisterhood, a chapter here, $2,100, and the rest of the over $5,000 that we made from the play went for a scholarship. My husband and I are retired educators.
Right.
Carol asked us to go to Alchesay, interview the girls, and pick one, and this was terrible for us. We met so many deserving young women.
Yeah.
We came home, we went through it, we talked about it, we prayed about it. We chose one, that was our first scholarship student. When we got finished, and we sent her off to school with a little laptop and a printer and paid for her tuition, I said to Ron, can't we do something else? Because we could see that there were needs out there. We looked at each other and we said, we are blessed. We are truly blessed. There's not anything that we want. We've traveled all over the world. We've traveled to 30 countries. We've had a good life together. What else can we do? Goodness. He was 83 and I was 76.
Goodness.
And he said we could start a nonprofit. And I said, what? Really? So then we got together, we named it, and for almost a year, he got on the internet and he set up our nonprofit status. The first year we helped 1 student. The second year we had 3.
3.
Then it went to 10. Then it went to 14, 16. This year 17.
So which is your first student?
She's not here. She's a graduate.
No, she's not on the picture.
No, these are this year's.
Oh, this is all 17 from this year.
We have one on the reservation with Johns Hopkins Center for Indian Health. We have another one at the Rainbow Center as a counselor. We have someone at White River Elementary. We have another graduate at Blue Ridge. And we have a nurse just graduated with her nursing degree, passed her boards, and now she's going to ASU to finish her bachelor's. This girl will finish up this year. Has been a scholar for the last 3 years. She painted the most wonderful mural at Alchesay High School. That was her internship to go back home and contribute something. I could brag about these girls all day.
Yeah.
Their grade point average is wonderful. But the important part, Kevin, is we don't throw money at the college.
Right.
We get involved with the girls. The girl that just graduated 2 years ago got up in front of a ladies group the other day and said, I still have the postcards that they sent me in college. I love the idea that they came to see me when I was lonely. The important thing here is that you don't just give money, you get involved, you send them postcards, text messages, emails. We have a luncheon for them at Christmas so they can meet each other. We let them know that they can call us at any time. Sometimes the scholarship might be setting up an account for gas,
Right.
because it takes gas to get from Fort Apache to Show Low.
True.
We've given computers and printers. It depends on the girls' needs. We tell them to go for as much as they can in little scholarships that nobody else wants, and then come to us, and our scholarships go anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000. It means a difference because Brienne graduated with no debt.
Wow.
And they are contributing to their community. They want to make a difference in their community.
What an exciting organization. Just 5 years old, Native Women Scholars.
We've given probably over $100,000 now.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
And deserving young women who their deficits are just the simple things. As you said, access to money for gas.
A care package that includes shampoo and toothpaste and things that they won't have to look for.
And something that is so easily overlooked is, especially in our day of the technology that is a wonderful thing, but often can become a barrier, is that reaching out and that personal, I really care about you, I'm going to touch you, and here's how.
Well, we try to give, we know, because when we interview, we want the parents involved, a mother, father, even a godfather in some cases, because we want the parents to want this for their child too. That ensures success. But we want them to know there's somebody else out there supporting them besides just their family. And this is what really is meaningful to them, that here we are, we're not their family, but we care.
So,
and that's
yeah.
part of my husband's legacy, because not only did he get the idea to start this, but he's leaving a legacy of caring,
Right.
love,
Right.
and generosity. We have helped girls when they needed a camp dress because they became Miss White Mountain
Right,
Native American. And he has been really a generous person who wanted to make a difference.
Well, Miss Marty, you just mentioned that your husband is leaving a legacy in this scholarship program, and what makes today very unique and very special in that perspective is, and I know, Marty, you don't mind me saying that Ron died today.
At 1 o'clock this morning.
1 o'clock this morning. So,
And Kevin, he didn't pass away. He left, and he chose when to leave. But before he left a legacy.
Yeah, and honestly, I was saying earlier to Marty before we began filming, and I don't want to be misunderstood, but we could not have scripted the beauty of what we're bringing to you today. This wonderful, very local program, every penny goes into this scholarship. As a matter of fact, Marty and Ron, up until this very hour, we're still putting their own resources into keeping this program active and alive. They've given, as you said, up until this point, in excess of $100,000.
Well, and scholarships have been given.
Well, yeah.
We haven't
Not you
given
guys.
that.
Yeah, you're right. Scholarships have been given in excess of $100,000 into this community. And Ron, his leaving, it's time basically to hand this mantle over. This legacy continues, and lives are going to continue to be touched because of the unselfishness of this man, this woman, this couple.
Well, it was his idea. But it was a pleasure. And I will tell you that at 83, when he started, and I was 77, we got much more than we ever gave.
Sure, I
and
guess
we
so.
reminded ourselves of that constantly. We had something to get involved with. We had something to be proud of. We had individuals that enriched our lives. And I think that's really important. If we don't know how long our lives are going to be, but we can make every day count.
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah, I mean, what a beautiful legacy, what a beautiful tribute to Ron, leaving on this date. We'll not forget it. So, Marty, I wanted to say thank you for being here today with us, talking about the Native Women's Scholars Program. There's brochures that you folks can get. They're I'm sure, all over the website. You can Google it. There'll be contact information at the end. And why I'm so grateful, because today has got to be a difficult day for you. It was just only hours ago that Ron died, and here you are. But I know you're going to have your moments of grief, and sorrow, tears, and all that, and that's all. But here you are, joyfully promoting something that was so very important to you, to
to
Ron,
him,
and to
yes.
this community. And so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have a couple of the guys from Ron's quartet with us, and we're just going to continue our tribute to Ron Lamar. So we'll see you back here in just a few moments.
Oh, wonderful.
Welcome back to A Grief Observed. You know, again, Miss Marty's still with us. She is now, I guess you'd say, the lady of honor on Ron's behalf as we continue just for a few more moments to memorialize him and his efforts, his love for this idea that they had together, which has turned out to be a wonderful program in our community. And Ron loved the Barbershop Quartet. As a matter of fact, wasn't it, Marty, you were telling me just a week ago, he was leading the White Mountain Barbershop Chorus out at Fool's Hollow Lake?
He directed one of the songs that the chorus sang at Fool's Hollow.
So just a week ago, there he was involved in another area that he so, can I say, so desperately loved.
He loved the chorus.
Yeah, and so what we did is this morning, I just put out a call. I said, hey, if any of you guys can get here, we're still going to tape. Marty said, let's do this to, of course, to remember Ron, his legacy, and the thing that he loved. I won't see nearly as much as his wife. Matter of fact, how long are you guys married?
About 20 years.
About 20 years. And
But you have to understand, it took me 38 years to get him.
point.
He hired me when I was 24 years old, and I taught in his school. He was a principal. And 38 years later, I married him.
Wow. And so the love of his life. So, at any rate, another love of his life, of course, was the chorus, his quartet, and these guys. So we got a few of them here today, and we want to take a few minutes, give each of them a turn to introduce themselves, and, to say something to Marty, to say something to Ron.
My name is Mick Mitchke, and I loved Ron. He was a generous individual, but he was also the best bass in the chorus and the bass of our quartet. And I was his handyman.
Hi, my name is Jim Burden, also known to Ron as James. I sing lead in the chorus, and I sang lead with his quartet once in a while. We had a lot of good times. I enjoyed singing with Ron. I enjoyed singing with him for about 13 years in the chorus.
I'm Jerry Shrunk. I'm singing lead in the chorus, and I was currently the lead in the Ponderosa Pines Quartet, which included Ron, Mick, Don, and myself. And actually, we were on the show at one point in time. Ron was huge in our chorus. I can tell you without going into a long, long story that we wouldn't be here today as the chorus had it not been for what Ron's leadership and insight
That's right.
at a moment of crisis. So I served on the board of directors with Ron. Ron served many, many times on our board, was president at least 3 times, maybe 4, and a quartet member with Ron.
There you go. Sir.
Hi, I'm Millard Bolt. I'm the newest to the chorus among this group. I've been with this chorus since 2015. Served 2 years as president, but when I think of Ron, I think of him as the backbone of the chorus. He not only was a great bass, but he was just supportive in every way that a singer could be. I was fortunate enough to fill in every now and then when they needed a lead to practice. So I guess if you had to give me a handle, I'd be the newbie.
I'm Don Merle. I'm the baritone of the Ponderosa Pines. It's hard to speak. I first met Ron and Marty 7.5 years ago at Church of Our Savior Episcopal Church. And the one thing I can say about Ron is, to me, he was like a brother. I never had a brother, but I had one when I met Ron.
How beautiful to think in terms of your relationship as a brotherhood. You mentioned Ron was your backbone, and he was the base of the quartet. In a quartet, how, musically speaking, how important is the bass singer?
Probably the most important, because
Yeah, I was hoping you would say that.
he's the base of everything else. B-A-S-E.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, you're talking about holding down the bottom, the foundation that the music can come from. And when you listen to quartets, a good bass is, I mean, you can tell a good bass stands out. It's not that the other members are not good or not important, but my understanding in listening to quartets is good bass singers are kind of hard to find. I'm not saying anybody can sing tenor. I'm not saying anybody can do a baritone or lead, but a good bass singer, because it's the support.
Plus, it was a passion.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing more noteworthy or more noticeable than that rich voice supporting it and pushing everybody forward. And maybe that's kind of what I'm gathering from this man, his love, husband, his innovative, visionary brother, backbone, bass, handyman,
Support.
support. Yeah. Yeah, and one of you guys said that, I wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
Well,
him.
I'd like to reiterate, that's what
Grab
our
the mic.
president
Grab the
said.
mic.
Grab the mic.
Well, I didn't want to make noise because I
Ah,
put it on the table.
you know what?
and
This is real life. This is real life. This
Now I forgot what I was going to say. No, just kidding.
Not you.
Be quiet over there, Don. As Jerry said, without Ron and Marty, and especially Ron, we probably wouldn't be here today the way we are.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's helped saved us in many ways and many times. And if it wasn't monetarily, it was support,
Right,
a hug,
right.
a dinner. When our quartets practiced at his house, Marty's house, we always had something good to eat.
And they always fed us.
Didn't I just say
I didn't
that?
hear that. I didn't hear it.
By the way, they always fed us. But
Why
you
not
know,
think of that?
I don't know. Can't you tell?
We
But
have
anyway,
4 guys with hearing aids.
and mine are too loud. I can hear things I don't want to hear.
And they were gourmet cooks.
And the 5th
Yes.
guy can't hear anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Oh, yes,
Ron
I
brought us back from about 6 members. We had a rough couple of years. without him, we wouldn't be here today, and we're very thankful for that.
Well, even think about the profoundness of that statement. It is much more far-reaching than I think you're even realizing. Without Ron,
James.
we wouldn't be here today.
That's right.
Now, we're going to miss him desperately.
It's because of Ron that I'm in the barbershoppers.
Exactly.
He's the one that brought me into them.
It's because of Ron that there's this scholarship program that's reaching young Native American women.
Yes.
And it's because of Ron's, even now in his death, we don't know where this relationship is going to take his legacy, his vision, his love, and his brotherhood. So the statement you made is incredibly profound. Because of Ron, we're all together, and it's going to go much further because of Ron. Absolutely, absolutely.
We went from that level of 6 people when I first came up here to live full-time in May of 2015. There was no chorus. It had gone to sleep. They had suspended it temporarily.
Right.
And Ron was a major player in seeing that it was revived in the fall of 2015. So very much thanks to Ron.
Yeah, and you know,
We're here.
3 short years later, there are quartets, and you guys are all over the place. At Valentine's Day, at Christmas, yeah.
You were talking about the scholarship program. A couple of years ago, Ron and Marty came up to my wife and I and said, we want to take you out for lunch. We want to talk to you about something. We got there and about halfway through the meal, and he says, I'd like you to be the treasurer of the Native Women's Scholars Program. He said, I got to tell you this, though, this meal is the only payment you're going to get.
Oh.
Talking about money, I have to bring it up because someone, I think it was Mick, that said, Ron and Marty, together they are, and they were, and will be, and always, that if we needed a little bit of money for something, or we were short of shirts, ties, or whatever, guess who would pop up and
Yep.
do it? If we were short of money to help a youngster go to Harm University,
Yep.
guess who we went to?
Right.
You know, it was Ron and Marty that were there. Not only were they good people, they were better than good people, and Marty still is. So,
But-
and we thank you all for that. It brings
Well-
chills up and down my spine.
Well, speaking of that and their goodness and gifts to the community, to you guys, I believe you have a little something for Marty.
I'm getting my exercise here. Go around this way.
Yeah, let him go, Ryan. Yeah.
I almost fall down, then you move.
As I said, Ron served as our president. Am I looking the right way?
They'll get you.
Okay. Ron served as the president of our chorus many times, at least 3 or 4 times. And at one of those, I take the pictures usually of the officers at what we have every January, an officers installation meeting. And I was able to capture this picture of Ron
There he
in
is.
2013. As that year he served again as our president. And on behalf of the chorus, I'd like to present this to Marty at this time.
Wow. Thank you. Well, you guys, this has been a rich time together. We've got, I think, just enough time for you guys to take us on out. Welcome, Lord, or what is it called? Precious Lord, take my hand, please. Oh, wait a minute. I've given you a name. I'm calling you guys the Ron Lamar Quintet. Take it away.
Very good. And I'm going to do a so-so job of trying to sing bass. First time I saw this music was this morning.
Well, you're filling in for Ron, so take it away, guys.
I won't do as well. But what the heck.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, help me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on, my way goes dreary, precious Lord, linger near when my life is almost gone. Lead me home. Hear my cry, hear my call. Hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord. Lead me home, lead me home. Hear my cry, hear my call. Hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord. Lead me home, lead me home. Take my hand, precious Lord. Lead me home, sweet home.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for watching A Grief Observed. We'll see you next month.